So, welcome back, guys, to ESA 2016. We now have the incredible, the handsome Bubblesdelfuego here with us.
Hi.
So,
Hi.
oh, it's a bit loud,
Yeah.
isn't it? All right. So, Bubbles, did you enjoy your run?
Yeah, I liked it. I think I did pretty okay, considering that, I do it.
What are you
Can I-
doing?
I think you just talk in from the front.
Okay. That's my preferred way of holding it. Any more questions?
Yeah,
I
don't
like
worry.
that.
I'm just taking off the glasses. You
Oh,
know,
okay.
real talk coming up.
Let's get serious.
Let's get serious. Did you plan on doing any skips or tricks that you couldn't show off or failed?
I wasn't 100% planning on the first cover slide, out of the vault. Nobody ever plans on that going well, but we did try it, and it failed. It's like a 50-50 that we'll get it. But you can show it off, without any risk because they could just load the quick save. But that was mostly just the number one thing. And there was a new 5-second time saver when the chip is being decoded, but I didn't have time to practice it because I heard about it on my way here, and I couldn't practice when I was here. But considering how I didn't practice, and I just got running, and the last time that I played that game was on the stage of SGDQ, I think I did pretty okay.
That sounds awesome. Your run also were still under the estimate, so everything
yeah.
went good. So now that you ran at both events, at GDQ and now ESA, obviously people are going to ask you, compare them both. What are the differences? Did you feel any different now that you already had a huge crowd for SGDQ?
Yeah, everyone here is very worried about maybe being a host or being a game or having a mic or sitting on the couch or being on cam or all that stuff. And I'm conditioned to this higher amount of people. So all that nervousness is thrown away. It's like walking on spikes for years and then over here there's thumbtacks. It won't feel like anything. And but yeah, I still want to definitely put on a good performance. I'm not going to treat it like it's nothing, but so the easiness, the relax, the feeling of how relaxed I am, that definitely I feel much more relaxed here. Because there's a lot of friends here. It's very chill. At a GDQ, if you heard that yelling in the background, they would get them out of here if it's in a GDQ. But I really didn't mind playing the game. I was more curious about what was going on, and so on and so forth. Besides that, they're setting up right next to me in eyesight, and that wouldn't happen at a GDQ. It's just very laid back here in comparison, and that's not a bad thing whatsoever. So that's the biggest difference, I would say.
That sounds pretty good to me, at least.
But it's not the Third Reich or anything over at GDQ. It's they're pretty nice still. Yeah, I don't want to make them seem like it's super strict.
And they do a great job. So.
They do a great job. It's all for a purpose. Everything's done there for a reason.
Exactly. So now that you ran Fallout 4 twice at 2 different marathons, what are the plans for the future? More Fallout? Maybe different games?
Well, if anybody's been watching me play on stream or anything at my channel that you can read right here, I just did a lot of the routing work and stuff and testing and practice for Dark Souls 3. So when I get back, I'll be doing any % of that game. It's a very the game has a lot to go for any %, and so I'll be focusing on that. And Distortion and I will, we have aspirations for AGDQ with that, so that's my biggest plan. Maybe focus a little bit more on Mega Man Legends, normal any %. I'd like that to be in a marathon or two. And maybe I'll come to ESA in the winter if it's a thing. We'll see how that goes. See if I got a good enough schedule around school for that. And probably a little bit more Batman Arkham City. I'd like that to be in some marathons. That's a really fun speed game.
Well, those are some really different games to each other.
Yeah.
How come? Where did you get the ideas from?
So I've always just liked playing different games because I see speedrunning as a platform, a thing that you do to games, not just a game. So if you run a bunch of monkey ball games, you're like a monkey ball speedrunner. You're not really a speedrunner. If you run a bunch of Zelda games, you're a Zelda speedrunner, not a speedrunner. I like to be known as a speedrunner. I have done Fallout 4 and 2 or 3 marathons, and Fallout 3 at a couple, and Oblivion at a couple. I don't want to be known as the Bethesda guy, though, really. And I don't really care what I'm known for. but I want people to like realize that like I'm speedrunning. And my job is like a private researcher at my university, where I can do this all day and for a living, and I can just wake up, test any game that I want, and then contact developers on what they can be used for their future projects. And it's kind of like private contracted QA in a way. And so the more varied that I get on these games, the more I know about these games, and I know about more games. And it's like gaming in general is what's like a passion for me, not just Oblivion, not just Batman. It's like I have like a spreadsheet of many different games, and you have no idea what I'm going to play next. I have no idea what I'm going to play next myself.
That sounds pretty interesting to me.
Yeah.
So overall, since obviously you ran Fallout 4 here, what would you say to people if they want to get into Fallout 4 speedrunning?
We have a Discord group, but I would just join if you actually really want to, because you have to like really talk to people in there and stuff. You can ask me anything, and I'll respond. There's a guide, downpatcher, French voice information, and I'm going to make a tutorial on every updated thing when I get back. I plan on doing that. You can get mad at me if I don't, but whatever. And so we're going to make it as easily accessible as you possibly can. The guys in the community, I'm probably like the biggest doofus among all the runners. Whenever there's a problem, I'm like a big baby, and I need all the smart kids in the background to help me figure out how to do things. So yeah, take it from me, if you want to run the game, you can do it.
So are there like different categories that may be more fitting for Fallout 4 than what you just ran?
No. There's people say, Fallout 4 has this large audience of casual players that love just exploring and playing the RPG. So when they see any percent, they're like, oh, what about 100%? Because they don't know what any percent means. Any percent is just like a short way of saying beat the game. So you cannot do 100% of Fallout 4. You can't do all of one faction and all of another. It's just, I don't even think you could do all main quests. Some people routed, there's one guy that's doing like glitchless survival, and that's like 3.5 hours or something. And there's one guy that did, there's like 2 or 3 guys that did glitchless just in themselves. Like Petite Miku is one of them, and he has the record for that, like 1 hour and 55. So that's pretty good. But any percent is probably the best. And I like to think of any percent in this game as like Ocarina of Time, any percent. Like, it's pretty neat. It's really cool how things work out and they all tie together. But if you want to grind it out, you better have some thick skin, because there's going to be some like depressing times. So yeah, if you want to run this game and you want to run a game for fun, then just finish a run or two. But your game's going to crash a lot, and you're not going to know why at all. And then you're going to do it all over again, and you're going to wonder why you're sitting there in that chair, not going outside instead. So, like, you can learn Fallout 4, but Dishonored's also a pretty cool speed run if you want to learn that too. Or like, that one doesn't crash very often. Or like, Kirby, it's coming up. That might be a fun game to run. So, maybe Fallout 4 should not be on the top of your list, but we were making it as easily accessible as possible. And once you have all the kinks down, if you're patient enough, it'll be worth the run.
That sounds pretty good. So you heard it, guys. If you want to go into Fallout 4 speedrunning, all the resources are there. Guides are in the making. And other than that, we had a lot of games right now throughout all of this marathon. Did you already have your favorites, or maybe are they still coming up?
My favorites. Recently I hung out with Noisy and Fuzziness the other night, and got to know them. They're cool dudes. So I'm looking forward to their run and their commentary on SM64, but not just to be that guy that says, Mario, yay. I enjoyed, let me think about these games. I think my favorite one it looks like the tech is ready.
Just name one, real quick.
Looks like Forbidden Memories.
Wow.
I love you already.
Best one
I love you already.
Incredible.
Okay.
Give it up for Bubbles. Thank
Yeah.
you very much.
Thank you very much for the
run.
short interview.
Thank you for the interview as well. We're moving on to Kirby's Dream Land, so take it away.